You pour it into the bowl every day, that familiar smell, those glossy chunks in gravy. You trust the label. But what if that food is slowly poisoning your cat? From contaminated batches to misleading claims and banned ingredients, some cat foods hide deadly secrets. Today, we expose 9 UK brands you must stop buying and 2 that are safe. Coming in at number 9, we have Whiskers. For decades, Whiskers has been a household name in British kitchens. The adverts showed sleek, happy cats bounding across living rooms. The packaging promised complete nutrition, backed by years of research. Generations of families trusted this brand to keep their cats healthy. Mars Petcare, the multinational corporation behind Whiskers, assured pet owners they were making a responsible choice for their furry companions. But the reality behind those glossy pouches tells a darker story. Consumer complaints have piled up over the years on forums, social media, and review sites. Pet owners report opening sachets to find a rancid, off-putting smell. Not the meaty aroma you would expect, but a sour, almost chemical odor that makes you recoil. Some describe the texture as slimy, with an unnatural grey tinge that bears little resemblance to actual meat. Cats that once devoured their meals now turn away, refusing to eat. And the ones that do eat? Owners report vomiting within hours, diarrhea that lasts for days, lethargy that strips the life from once playful companions. In 2021, a wave of complaints swept across social media and pet forums throughout the UK. Owners shared heartbreaking stories of cats falling seriously ill after eating Whiskers pouches. Some reported kidney failure in cats that had been perfectly healthy weeks earlier. Others watched their cats deteriorate rapidly, struggling to understand what had changed. The food looked the same, the packaging was identical, but something inside had gone terribly wrong. Mars Petcare maintained that their products met all FSA safety standards. They pointed to quality control measures and regulatory compliance. But for the families who lost beloved pets or faced enormous veterinary bills, those assurances rang hollow. Here is where it gets personal for seniors. Many of you watching are on fixed incomes, perhaps a state pension or modest retirement savings. A sudden vet emergency can cost hundreds, even thousands of pounds. According to the Association of British Insurers, the average veterinary claim in the UK now exceeds £400. If your cat develops kidney issues from contaminated food, you face impossible choices. Do you drain your savings? Do you put yourself under financial strain when you are already managing your own prescriptions and bills? And beyond the money, there is the emotional devastation. For many seniors living alone, a cat is not just a pet, it is a companion, a source of comfort, a reason to get up in the morning. Age UK reports that over 2 million people aged 75 and over live alone in Britain. Losing that companion to preventable illness is a pain that cuts deep. The ingredient list on Whiskers raises further concerns. Meat and animal derivatives, a vague term that could mean almost anything. Byproducts, fillers and additives that bulk out the food without providing genuine nutrition. Sugars added to make the food more palatable, contributing to obesity and diabetes in cats. Artificial colours that serve no purpose except to make the product look appealing to human eyes. Whiskers promises a happy, healthy cat. The reality is a gamble every time you open a pouch. Why do you think billion-pound pet food companies keep having complaints yet their products stay on every supermarket shelf? At number 8, we have Felix. Felix is everywhere. Those distinctive black and white cat packets line the shelves of every Tesco, Sainsbury's and Asda in Britain. Purina, the company behind Felix, markets it as fun, tasty and loved by cats. The packaging shows a cheeky cartoon cat suggesting playfulness and vitality. It feels friendly. It feels safe. But dig beneath the marketing and the picture grows darker. Owners across the United Kingdom have reported alarming patterns. Cats that ate Felix for years suddenly develop urinary tract problems, crystals forming in the bladder, blockages that require emergency surgery. Male cats are particularly vulnerable. Their narrow urethras can become completely obstructed, a condition that is agonizingly painful and can prove fatal within days if untreated. The mineral content in some Felix recipes has drawn criticism from veterinary nutritionists. Excessive ash content, high phosphorus levels and inadequate moisture can stress the kidneys and urinary system. For older cats, those beloved senior companions who have shared your home for a decade or more, these risks multiply. Aging kidneys are less efficient at filtering waste. A diet that overwhelms those organs accelerates decline. One owner from Manchester shared her story online. Her 12-year-old cat, Maisie, had eaten Felix her entire life without apparent problems. Then, over the course of 6 weeks, Maisie stopped grooming herself. Her coat became dull and matted. She drank water constantly but produced only small amounts of dark, concentrated urine. By the time the owner brought her to the vet, Maisie's kidneys were failing. The vet asked about diet. When Felix was mentioned, the vet nodded grimly. He had seen this pattern before. The treatment cost over £800. Maisie survived, but she now requires prescription food and regular blood tests for the rest of her life. Her owner, a retired nurse living on her NHS pension, struggles to afford the ongoing care. This is the betrayal. Purina promises complete and balanced nutrition. They assure you that Felix provides everything your cat needs. But complete according to whose standards? Balanced based on what evidence? The truth is that minimum regulatory requirements for pet food in the UK are shockingly low. A product can meet legal standards while still causing long-term harm. The bar is set at survival, not optimal health. And the companies know this. They formulate for cost efficiency, not for your cat's well-being. Felix also contains cereals, grains that cats, as obligate carnivores, have no biological need to eat. Their digestive systems are designed for meat. Grains provide cheap bulk, padding out the product while delivering minimal nutritional value. Over time, diets high in carbohydrates can contribute to obesity, diabetes, and inflammatory conditions. The smell when you open a Felix pouch is often intensely artificial. That strong, almost perfumed aroma is not the scent of fresh meat. It is the result of flavor enhancers and palatants, chemicals designed to make low-quality ingredients appealing to cats. Your cat is not choosing Felix because it tastes like real food. Your cat is being tricked by laboratory engineered flavor compounds. Most people never learn how to spot these tricks, but stick around, the solution is coming near the end. Now at number 7, we have Gourmet. The name alone suggests luxury. Gourmet by Purina positions itself as premium cat food for discerning felines. The packaging is elegant. The flavors sound sophisticated. Salmon with a delicate sauce, chicken with garden vegetables. The price reflects this upmarket image. Surely, if you pay more, you get better quality? This is one of the cruelest deceptions in the pet food industry. When independent analysts examined Gourmet products, the results were damning. Despite the premium branding, the actual meat content was disappointingly low. The first ingredient listed was often water. Meat and animal derivatives, that deliberately vague category, made up a fraction of the total. The luxurious descriptions on the front of the packet bore no relationship to the grey, gelatinous reality inside. Owners report that Gourmet often smells artificial, with a cloying sweetness that seems out of place. The texture is frequently mushy, lacking the fibrous structure you would expect from genuine meat. Cats initially attracted by the strong flavor enhancers may eat eagerly at first, but long-term their health suffers. A study published in the Journal of Animal Physiology and Animal Nutrition found that cats fed lower-quality commercial diets showed higher rates of obesity, dental disease, and digestive disorders. The researchers noted that marketing claims often bore little relationship to nutritional reality. For seniors who stretch their budgets to buy what they believe is better food for their cats, the betrayal is especially painful. You sacrificed. You chose the more expensive option because you wanted the best for your companion. And what did you get? The same low-quality ingredients in fancier packaging. The added sugars in Gourmet recipes also raise red flags. Cats have no dietary requirement for sugar. Their bodies are not designed to process it efficiently, yet manufacturers add it because it enhances palatability and creates a mild addictive response. Your cat keeps eating not because the food is nutritious, but because the sugar triggers reward pathways in the brain. Over time, sugar consumption contributes to feline diabetes, a condition that requires twice-daily insulin injections and constant monitoring. The cost of managing diabetic cats runs into thousands of pounds annually. The emotional toll of giving your cat injections, watching them suffer through blood glucose fluctuations, seeing their quality of life diminish. This is the hidden price of trusting misleading labels. Gourmet promises indulgence. It delivers exploitation. Ever noticed how premium prices never seem to mean premium ingredients? Drop a comment if you have been caught out by fancy packaging. Moving to number 6, we have Sheba. Mars Pet Care strikes again. Sheba is marketed as the food that cats ask for by name. The advertisements show sleek, pampered cats being served by devoted owners in pristine kitchens. The messaging implies exclusivity, quality, refinement. It feels premium. The ingredient panels tell a different story. Sheba products frequently contain animal byproducts, a catch-all term that encompasses everything from offal to rendered materials. While some byproducts can be nutritious, the lack of transparency is troubling. You have no way of knowing whether your cat is eating organ meat, which can be beneficial, or processed waste products that offer little nutritional value. Complaints about Sheba have centered on digestive upset. Owners describe cats experiencing chronic loose stools, excessive gas, and intermittent vomiting. The symptoms often appear gradually, easy to dismiss at first, but accumulating over months into a pattern of poor health. One pensioner from Birmingham described her experience on a pet forum. Her cat, Tigger, had always had a sensitive stomach, but switching to Sheba made things worse. The loose stools became constant. Tigger lost weight despite eating regularly. His coat, once glossy and thick, became dry and brittle. The vet diagnosed inflammatory bowel disease, likely triggered or exacerbated by dietary factors. Treatment required steroids and expensive prescription food. The total cost exceeded £1,000 in the first year alone. For seniors on fixed incomes, these unexpected expenses can be devastating. You budgeted carefully. You thought you were making responsible choices. And then a pet food company's cost-cutting decisions land you with bills you cannot afford. Many seniors already manage multiple prescriptions, heating costs, and rising food prices. An unexpected veterinary bill can mean choosing between your own medication and your cat's care. Sheba also contains artificial colors. There is no nutritional reason to add dyes to cat food. Cats cannot perceive colors the way humans do. The dyes exist solely to make the product look more appealing to shoppers. Meanwhile, some artificial colors have been linked to behavioral changes and allergic reactions in sensitive animals. The gravy in Sheba products often contains thickeners and gelling agents derived from seaweed or processed starches. While generally considered safe, these additives dilute the overall nutritional density of the food. You are paying for gravy, essentially flavored water, rather than the meat your cat actually needs. At number 5, we have Bakers. Bakers is primarily known for dog food, but their cat food range shares the same troubling philosophy. The brand positions itself as wholesome and traditional, with packaging that evokes countryside values and honest ingredients. It feels British. It feels trustworthy. The reality could not be more different. Bakers' cat food has been criticized by veterinarians and pet nutritionists for years. The formulations rely heavily on cereals, with wheat often appearing as the first ingredient. For a species that evolved as a strict carnivore, feeding grain-heavy diets makes no biological sense. Cats lack the digestive enzymes to efficiently process carbohydrates. Their bodies are designed to derive energy from protein and fat, not from starch. Feeding inappropriate diets long-term contributes to obesity, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation. A 2019 survey by the Pet Food Manufacturers Association found that an estimated 51% of cats in the UK are overweight or obese. Diet plays a central role in this epidemic, and products like Bakers are part of the problem. The artificial additives in Bakers have also drawn concern. Colours, flavours, and preservatives extend shelf life and enhance appeal, but at what cost to your cat's health? Some preservatives have been linked to organ damage in laboratory studies. While the amounts in pet food fall below regulatory thresholds, the cumulative effect of daily exposure over years remains poorly understood. Owners report that cats fed Bakers often develop skin problems. Excessive scratching, hair loss, hot spots, and ear infections can all indicate food sensitivities. The ingredients triggering these reactions are difficult to identify because the formulations use so many components. One retired teacher from Leeds shared her experience. Her cat, Pickles, developed persistent ear infections that required repeated veterinary treatment. Antibiotics provided temporary relief, but the infections always returned. Finally, a veterinary dermatologist suggested an elimination diet. When Bakers was removed, the infections stopped. Pickles had been reacting to something in the food, possibly the cereals, possibly the additives, possibly both. The cost of diagnosis and treatment had already exceeded £500 by that point. Money that could have gone toward heating bills or prescription charges was instead spent correcting damage caused by a budget pet food brand. Ever notice How the same companies that fund pet nutrition studies are the ones selling ultra-processed junk. Makes you wonder who the research really serves. If this helps you stay safer at the store, hit subscribe. It is free and it means you will never miss these exposes. Coming in at number 4, we have GoCat. Purina appears on this list again with GoCat, one of the UK's best-selling dry cat food brands. The colourful kibble pieces, the cheerful packaging, the promises of complete nutrition. GoCat has been a staple in British homes for generations. Parents fed it to their cats. Now their children do the same. But dry food, especially budget dry food, carries inherent risks that many owners do not understand. Cats evolved in arid environments, obtaining most of their moisture from prey. Their thirst drive is weak compared to dogs or humans. When fed exclusively dry food, many cats exist in a state of chronic mild dehydration. Over years, this places enormous strain on the kidneys, contributing to chronic kidney disease, one of the leading causes of death in older cats. GoCat's moisture content is typically around 8 to 10%. Compare that to wet food at 75 to 80%, or a mouse at approximately 70%. The difference is stark. Cats eating only dry food must drink significantly more water to compensate, and most simply do not. The ingredient quality in GoCat raises further concerns. Cereals dominate the formulation. Maize, wheat and corn appear prominently, providing cheap calories but little nutritional value for cats. The meat content, when broken down, often represents a small fraction of the total product. A 2020 analysis by Which magazine examined several popular cat food brands. GoCat ranked poorly for protein quality and overall nutritional value. The investigation noted that budget brands often used lower quality protein sources and relied heavily on fillers. For seniors who leave dry food out during the day, common practice for convenience, the risks multiply. Kibble left in warm environments can become stale and potentially harbour bacterial growth. The fats coating the pieces can turn rancid, creating an unpleasant odour and potentially causing digestive upset. Owners have reported cats developing dental problems on dry food-only diets. Contrary to marketing claims that kibble cleans teeth, the reality is that most cats swallow pieces whole without significant chewing. Any dental benefit is minimal, while the carbohydrate content actually feeds the bacteria responsible for plaque formation. One widower from Newcastle described his cat's decline. After feeding GoCat for years, his 15-year-old cat, Jasper, was diagnosed with advanced kidney disease. The vet explained that diet was likely a contributing factor. The man felt immense guilt. He had trusted the brand, believed the claims of complete nutrition, and never questioned whether he was making the right choice. Jasper required subcutaneous fluid therapy at home, a process that involved inserting needles under his skin every other day. The man, who had arthritis in his hands, struggled with the procedure. Eventually, the stress and Jasper's declining quality of life became too much. The decision to euthanize was devastating. This is what betrayal looks like. A company promises to nourish your cat. Instead, it contributes to a disease that steals years from their life and forces you into heartbreaking decisions. Now at number 3, we have Iams. Iams presents itself as a scientifically formulated premium brand. The packaging emphasizes research, tailored nutrition, and veterinary endorsement. For cat owners seeking reassurance, Iams seems like a trustworthy choice. It costs more. It looks professional. Surely it must be better. But the brand's history is shadowed by controversy. Iams is owned by Mars Petcare, the same corporation behind Whiskers, Sheba, and several other brands on this list. The consolidation of the pet food industry means that a small number of massive companies control the majority of products on supermarket shelves. True competition is an illusion. The same parent company profits whether you choose the budget option or the premium one. Despite the premium positioning, Iams formulations have drawn criticism. Some products contain corn, wheat and soy, ingredients that provide cheap calories but offer little benefit to obligate carnivores. The protein sources, while higher quality than some budget brands, still include byproducts and rendered materials. In the United States, Iams faced accusations of conducting invasive animal testing. Undercover investigations revealed cats and dogs kept in laboratory conditions, subjected to procedures that many considered cruel. While the company claimed to have reformed its practices, the revelations damaged trust among animal lovers worldwide. For UK consumers, the question lingers: can you trust a brand willing to treat animals that way behind closed doors? Owners report mixed results with Iams. Some cats thrive while others develop sensitivities manifesting as itching, digestive upset, or coat problems. The inconsistency suggests that quality control varies or that the formulations do not suit all cats equally. The price point of Iams, higher than supermarket-owned brands but lower than truly premium options, places it in an uncomfortable middle ground. You pay more without necessarily getting better nutrition. For seniors carefully managing household budgets, this represents poor value. One retired accountant from Surrey described her frustration. She had chosen Iams believing the scientific marketing, thinking she was investing in her cat's health, yet her cat developed persistent digestive issues that required veterinary investigation. After switching to a genuinely high-quality brand, the problems resolved. She calculated that the money spent on Iams plus veterinary bills far exceeded what she would have spent simply buying better food from the start. Most people never discover which brands truly deliver on their promises. But do not go yet. We reveal the safe options at the very end. At number 2, we have Purina One. The name suggests singularity, focus, excellence. Purina One markets itself as the smarter choice, clinically proven nutrition backed by science. The advertisements feature healthy, energetic cats and testimonials from satisfied owners. It feels scientific. It feels reliable. The ingredient reality does not match the aspirational branding. Purina One contains chicken as its primary protein source, which sounds promising. But examine the label closely. The chicken is often listed alongside rice, wheat, and maize. By the time water weight is accounted for in the fresh meat, the actual meat content may be lower than the grains. You are paying for a product that delivers more carbohydrate than protein. The dried protein sources in Purina One, while providing concentrated nutrition, raise questions about processing. High-temperature rendering can denature proteins and destroy amino acids. What remains may look good on a nutritional analysis, but may not be fully bioavailable to your cat. Owners have reported that cats on Purina One sometimes develop excessive thirst and urination. These symptoms can indicate kidney stress or early diabetes, conditions that worsen with inappropriate diet. The high carbohydrate content combined with inadequate moisture creates a metabolic environment that favors disease. A survey by the Royal Veterinary College found that feline diabetes has increased significantly over recent decades, correlating with the rise of processed commercial diets. While multiple factors contribute, diet is consistently identified as a major influence. For seniors watching their cats age, the spectre of diabetes is frightening. Managing a diabetic cat requires commitment, expense, and constant vigilance. Blood glucose monitoring, insulin injections, dietary restrictions. The burden falls heavily on owners, many of whom are managing their own health conditions. If you take blood pressure medication or manage your own diabetes, adding a pet's condition to your daily routine becomes overwhelming. One woman from Edinburgh shared her story. Her cat, Whiskers, had eaten Purina One for 5 years before being diagnosed with diabetes at age 10. The initial veterinary costs for diagnosis, stabilization, and equipment exceeded £700. Ongoing insulin and supplies cost over £100 monthly. The woman, who lived on a state pension, faced impossible choices between her own medications and her cat's care. This is the hidden cost of trusting marketing over substance. The brand promises health. It delivers chronic disease. Coming in at number 1, the cat food brand you must avoid above all others is Aldi's own brand range. Aldi has revolutionized grocery shopping for millions of British families. The low prices, the no-frills approach, the treasure hunt excitement of the middle aisle. There is genuine value in what Aldi offers. But when it comes to cat food, the bargains come with hidden costs that far outweigh the savings. Aldi's cat food lines, sold under names like VitaCat and similar store brands, represent the absolute floor of the market. The prices are astonishingly low. A pouch can cost less than 20 pence. For seniors stretching every pound, this seems like a godsend. Finally, a way to feed your beloved companion without breaking the bank. But cheap ingredients produce cheap results. When researchers analysed budget supermarket cat foods, the findings were disturbing. Meat content was often below 15%, meaning the vast majority of what you pour into your cat's bowl is water, grains, and fillers. The protein sources, when identifiable at all, typically consisted of rendered materials, mechanically separated meat, and byproducts of unknown origin. The vague labeling is deliberate. Meat and animal derivatives could mean anything from chicken liver to slaughterhouse floor sweepings. By refusing to specify, manufacturers avoid accountability. You cannot make informed choices when the information is deliberately obscured. Owners who feed Aldi cat food often report concerning changes in their cats over time. Coats become dull and lifeless, lacking the healthy sheen that indicates proper nutrition. Weight gain is common, as cats overeat trying to obtain sufficient protein from carbohydrate-heavy food. Dental problems accumulate. Energy levels drop. The long-term health consequences are serious. Cats fed inadequate diets throughout their lives develop conditions that require expensive treatment. Kidney disease, heart problems, diabetes, arthritis. These chronic conditions trace back, at least partially, to years of nutritional deficiency. A comprehensive study published in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery examined the relationship between diet quality and lifespan. Cats fed premium diets with high meat content and minimal fillers lived an average of 2 to 3 years longer than those fed budget alternatives. They also experienced fewer health problems and better quality of life in their senior years. 2 to 3 years, that is 2 to 3 more years of companionship. 2 to 3 more years of purring on your lap, greeting you at the door, keeping you company through lonely evenings. The cost difference between budget and quality food amounts to perhaps 50 pence per day. Over a cat's lifetime, the total investment in better nutrition is far less than a single veterinary emergency caused by poor diet. For seniors, this calculation matters profoundly. Your cat may be your most constant companion. The thought of losing them prematurely because you unknowingly fed them inadequate food is devastating. Aldi's low prices attract vulnerable consumers, those least able to afford veterinary care when things go wrong. The savings at the checkout become losses at the vet clinic. The economics only work if you ignore the downstream consequences. One pensioner from Cardiff shared her regret. She had fed Aldi cat food for years, proud of her thriftiness. When her cat developed chronic kidney disease at age 8, young for such a diagnosis, the vet gently asked about diet. Learning that nutrition had likely contributed to her cat's condition was crushing. The woman spent her modest savings on treatment, extending her cat's life by 18 months. She would have gladly paid more for better food all along if she had only known. Do you think the government protects consumers or the pet food industry? When budget brands can sell products that barely qualify as food, you have your answer. The first safe option is Lily's Kitchen. After everything you have heard, you deserve to know which brands actually care about your cat's health. Lily's Kitchen stands apart in the UK market. Founded on principles of genuine nutrition, this brand uses clearly identified, human-grade ingredients. When the label says chicken, it means actual chicken meat, not rendered byproducts or unspecified derivatives. The ingredient lists are transparent, allowing you to know exactly what you are feeding your cat. The formulations exclude artificial preservatives, colors, and flavors. There are no hidden sugars, no cheap grain fillers, no mystery derivatives. The recipes are developed with input from veterinary nutritionists, balancing protein, fat, and essential nutrients appropriately for cats. Lily's Kitchen offers both wet and dry options, allowing you to provide variety and ensure adequate hydration. The wet foods have high moisture content, supporting kidney health and urinary function, critical concerns for aging cats. Owners consistently report positive changes after switching. Coats become glossier, energy levels improve, digestive issues often resolve. Cats that previously turned away from food eat eagerly, responding to genuine nutrition rather than artificial palatants. The price is higher than supermarket brands, but the value is incomparably better. You are paying for actual meat, proper nutrition, and honest formulation. The long-term savings in veterinary bills typically exceed the additional food costs. More importantly, you are giving your cat the best chance at a long, healthy life. For seniors seeking peace of mind, Lily's Kitchen delivers. You can trust what is in the packet. You can feel confident that every meal supports your cat's well-being. The second safe option is Canagan. Canagan represents the gold standard in UK cat nutrition. This British brand specialises in grain-free, high-meat content formulations designed to mirror what cats would eat in nature. The protein percentages in Canagan products are exceptional, often exceeding 60% from identified meat sources. The brand uses freshly prepared meat alongside dried meat for balanced nutrition. Sweet potato and vegetables provide gentle fibre without the inflammatory potential of grains. Canagan excludes all artificial additives. No colors, no preservatives, no flavor enhancers. The food relies on the natural appeal of quality ingredients rather than laboratory-engineered tricks. Independent testing consistently ranks Canagan among the highest quality cat foods available in the UK. The brand has won multiple awards and earned recommendations from veterinarians who understand feline nutrition. Owners who switch to Canagan often describe transformative results. Cats with chronic health issues improve. Overweight cats gradually reach healthy weights as their bodies receive appropriate nutrition. Senior cats regain vitality, becoming more playful and engaged. The cost per serving is higher than budget brands, but the calculation favors quality. Your cat eats less because the food is genuinely nutritious. Their bodies do not crave more trying to compensate for deficiencies. The reduced veterinary bills, the extended lifespan, the better quality of life. These benefits far outweigh the price difference. For seniors who want the absolute best for their companions, Canagan is worth every penny. You have worked hard your entire life. Your cat has given you unconditional love and companionship. They deserve food that honors that bond. You now know which brands to avoid. Subscribe now so you never get blindsided again.